Hi there. So today I am here to talk about B2B product launches and how we can launch a B2B product without creating any confusion around it in the market. Before that, I am Jigyasa. I am the Chief Brand Strategist at 30th Feb. Yes, we are a branding agency and I have been making these videos because a lot of you have been sharing feedback and a lot of you actually found them useful as well. Getting back to the topic, so why we are talking about the B2B products today and why these launches are becoming lot critical and important from the brand as well as the marketing point of view. If I talk about the B2B product market, it is one of the fastest growing and evolving industry, whether these are the products that are technology led, whether these are the products which are becoming artificially intelligent and bringing lot of value for the business owners by making them business intelligent as well, or the technology products that are there to simplify growth marketing, that are there to simplify the processes, how businesses are run, and also those B2B products that are simplifying growth and scalability for your business. It could be anything. It could be the languages that support your programs, it could be the systems, it could be very specific marketing inducing tools which are simplifying how you run the overall marketing automation or the industry which we know as the software as service. Now, getting to the significance of B2B product market launches is very important because in the back end the product teams are working rigorously on making the product more compliant, more safe, secure. They're introducing things which are a lot about security, safety, encryption, cyber security, and there are also versions which are more polished and defined around UI UX. It can also be about data insights when we talk about the products that are into marketing automation or AI-led automations. So a lot of work goes into these B2B products at the product level, but not that much of work is done at the B2B launch level, which actually complicates the success story or the narrative around that B2B product. And that is why we are here to talk about how we can make a B2B product launch absolutely confusion free and bring in the narrative that is built on clarity, communication, and therefore brings in the creativity to communicate in such a way that it leads to success of the product as well as the brand. So what are the 5 important things that you must keep in mind while planning your B2B product launch? Well, the first one is messaging and positioning. Always ensure that the messaging and positioning of your B2B product is absolutely crystal clear. You are not making it as an extension or an expansion of your brand positioning. This is a prime mistake that a lot of the technology companies often make because we think that this B2B product should ride on the existing branding and the brand value of their business brand, which apparently leads to a lot of confusion and chaos because your brand is understood for your previous B2B products, and that is why it creates lot of gaps in the minds of the consumer, and actually it makes the entire marketing and branding game lot more challenging. So ensure that the messaging and positioning around this B2B product is absolutely crystal clear. Point 2 is audience audit and segmentation. We have always been talking about, knowing your customer, and so why I am talking about audience audit and segmentation is because actually in the B2B product cases, the audience data segmentation is very, very important. We are talking about the products which are beneficial for different verticals, for different stakeholders in any organization. And that is why the decision maker for a lot of B2B products are always different vertical heads and department heads. So whatever communication you are creating for any B2B product audience, you must ensure that you are taking care of this part that who is going to consume this particular communication. So audience segmentation will help you simplify everything around your B2B product launch. Think of it as something when you are sending something to the business owners who understand the gap, might be interested in knowing about the product as a solution. Then think of it as the second aspect, which can be the technology leaders or the marketing leaders or the business development team for whom your B2B product is the most efficient solution. So they might have a great stake and say in your B2B product launch. So that is why you need to understand the significance of audience management, data segregation while planning any B2B launch. The third important part here is aligning the internal teams. Again, a lot of times the B2B products are developed in the backend by the product teams or the software teams, and who test it, develop it, and make it launch ready. But the internal alignment for the product teams is very important. You have a product team. Have you worked on the product decks and aligned it internally with your sales team? Have you created the educational material around it? Have you communicated it from the top-down approach, talking about the sales support and product teams, or even the DevOps and the backend teams, encouraging them to know more about the upcoming product, what it is all about, what problems it is solving, what customer segment it is designed for. So this internal alignment is very important, because otherwise any launch which is done at the external level can turn chaotic, especially for the B2B product, because there are a lot of communication gaps. Now, talking about the communication, the fourth and very important aspect for B2B product launch is working on your sales communication. The most important part, whether it is your product deck, whether it is the email communication around your product, or the landing pages. These are the first and foremost brand impressions for your B2B product. So make sure that they are absolutely clear. They are doing a lot of objection handling. They are designed for the target audience, and they are sounding relevant and competitive to your competition brands. So make sure that your first line of sales communication, whether it is the product deck or the emailers or the landing pages, everything is aligned with your product, with your product benefits, with your target audience, with the objections that will help sales team resolve it and make the conversion easier. That is the first line of your communication. The second line of your communication, which I say is the supportive line for any sales team, is your social media, your blogs. So make sure they are not just keyword led or AI led for traffics and impressions, but make sure that they are coming up with all the right solutions, the right answers that your reader might be looking at. Pop them up with a lot of case studies, use cases to build trust and credibility through your sales communication or the communication around the B2B product, which is boosting the sales. The final and fifth point, which I recommend to a lot of technology leaders or the product leaders for B2B launches, is that we should always launch in phases and do not commit yourself fully to it, because B2B product, like any product testing, is always defined in such a way that your product is evolving. You're getting a new customer insight, a brand insight, or a competition insight every day. So you should commit to it in different phases. When I'm saying commit to it, I mean the B2B launch. It can be going for the industry events. It can be very targeted email communication to get the first user base and do the testing around that user base, bring that insight into the product, better it, and then take it to the masses. It can also be driven by some segmented data, because a lot of technology companies already have a user base who are there, who have subscribed to their existing products. So the idea here is, do not go all into it, but make sure that you're testing and experimenting with all these aspects of marketing distribution, content distribution, and see what is working how, because all this insight is very much important to clear all the confusion and fog around your B2B product. It makes your B2B product launch all the more effective, efficient, and of course scalable at the same time.